This post is for people 45 years old and under. I think that's where I'm going to cut it off at, basically 1980 up until now. I think I'm a little early posting this, but in my mind, I see anybody that's currently 45 years of age or less as what I would call the comeback generation. And that's being inclusive. If I was being less inclusive, I think it would accurately be 38 and under. What I mean by comeback generation is the vision that you have for America and its future, where, I don't know, we may have universal health care, or everybody truly has a fair shot, or the middle class isn't just the lower class with fucking glitter on it, and the top 2% don't just dictate and own anything. This view of America that you would imagine would be common sense, I believe that people that are 45 or younger are a part of that comeback generation, or that comeback push, because it's gone. When 128 Democrats can side with all of the Republicans and kill the progress of a presidential impeachment, that lets you know that you are now in like the avenging stage, the comeback stage. There is no remnants of the system you used to know or the freedoms you used to know. That shit is gone. People are still like, oh, tell me what rights you've lost. I don't want to actively lose my rights before I start speaking out against it. I'd like to be preventative when it comes to my fucking rights. You get what I'm saying? But for as bewildered as a lot of us are when it came to how the fuck can he run a second time after he influenced a fucking insurrection, did the opposite of a peaceful transfer of power, broke the presidential oath already, convicted of multiple fucking felonies on top of just having a shit character, how does this person who's a fucking embarrassment to the country not only get to be the president again after it's confirmed that he asked a general to shoot protesters in the legs, American citizens using their First Amendment right to fucking protest? And luckily, that general took an oath in which he fucking took seriously and told him no. That's one of the reasons why the first thing they did when they came in this time is fire anybody that could fucking tell them no. So you have a president that ordered for American citizens to be shot in the fucking legs when he's allowed to not only take power again, but then they shut down impeachment as if the last 6 months has been right on par with the rules, policies, regulations that we expect people within our federal government to uphold and adhere to. When all of that shit goes out the fucking window and they say, yeah, it's fine, he can still be the president, that's when you know that your future of America, your perspective of how America should be, a country that you can truly be proud for and not just have to say it knowing it's bullshit, that's something that you're going to have to fight for. That's something that you're going to have to do more than peaceful protests and rallies and meetups and voting and shit like that. It doesn't change that drastic, doesn't come from those measures, unfortunately. You're in a fighting phase for your country. There are racists and white supremacists and the likes right now saying we are going to take back the country, make America great again, yada, yada, yada. So you, on the opposing end of that, can't come forward and say, oh, we're going to vote in 2026 and 2028 and fix that. Kevin Roberts, it will be bloodless as long as the left allows it. So when I see Stephen Miller, a modern day Nazi, say we are taking the country back, months after Kevin Roberts, one of the main orchestrators of Project 2025, say that it will be bloodless as long as the left allows it. Those are the only two things I need to realize that, like, they will go to war over this shit. Just like they went to war over freeing black people and ending slavery, they will go to war over the shit that is happening right the fuck now. We all watched him disobey a unanimous Supreme Court decision. And then when there's a vote on whether or not to continue the progress about bills of impeachment, things like that, they say, no, it's fine. He hasn't done anything to be impeached. That lets you know that the rules and the systems in place, the shit they taught you about in school, the checks and balances that are supposed to keep that motherfucker in check is gone. Your American government, your life in America is becoming a dictatorship faster than you are readily willing to accept, to understand. I know it helps you sleep better at night, knowing that, oh, this is just another 4-year nightmare, just like 2016 to 2020, and after 2028 we'll cast a vote and hopefully somebody else different will come in and we'll start to fix all of this. No. That's you being naive. That's you giving into your fear, because obviously it's not an easy thing to look around and go, holy shit. This massive, impenetrable construct that I thought was American democracy and the freedoms that come with being an American, it's just disappearing right before my eyes. And nobody on either side of the aisle, Republican or Democrat, is doing a fucking thing about it. They tried to impeach him the first time. That didn't happen. It's just for shits and giggles this time. Make no mistake, okay? Wrap your head around what comes with a presidential impeachment and why you can just fucking forget about it happening. When an impeachment happens, basically what it is the federal government collectively saying, or the system as a whole collectively saying, this is not who should be the president or who should be in office right now. We made a mistake. Now we're going to do what we had to do to fix this mistake and install somebody through democratic processes to replace this mistake that we put in this position to begin with. Now ask yourself, do you think the American government is going to stand before the country and the world and say, hey, we made a mistake when choosing the president of the United States? The answer is fucking no. Don't lie to yourself. Forget about a goddamn impeachment. They have to first admit to you that they were wrong. Something that this fucking country just doesn't know how to fucking do. It's always pushing the goalpost, right? And on top of that, they have to implement the now process to have another election and ultimately put in another president, right? Obviously, there's going to be people that fill in along the way and stuff like that, but ultimately to install another president that will hopefully take his fucking oath seriously. It's not going to happen. When we had a free and fair election in 2020, they tried to call it a fake election to the point where there was a fucking insurrection. An insurrection whose participants are now free because of a presidential pardon. Imagine what will happen as they still cry about the bullshit around the 2020 election, despite still not having any concrete evidence fucking 5 years later. If they're willing to go through those lengths for that shit, imagine what they'll do when there's a free and fair impeachment. So if anything, I know we're all pissed off at those Democrats who voted to stop the impeachment, but I think part of them voting to not go forward with the impeachment is the thought that this will definitely spark a civil war. He already lost the election in 2020 and over 1,500 people stormed the fucking Capitol because he lost the way he's supposed to fucking lose after dealing with his dumbass for 4 years already. He had a fucking pandemic playbook and ignored it because it came from the fucking Obama administration. What did that result in? Fucking COVID quarantine. So when he got voted out in 2020, all this bullshit started, a fake election. We hear it every day from these fucking MAGA idiots, right? So you can imagine what would happen if these diehard, blindly loyal cult members that are a part of MAGA would do. You can imagine what they would do if the headline said, Donald Trump impeached. So if anything, it's the Democrats buying time to not open the door for mass violence. There are still actively, currently, and somehow proudly millions of people that happily support Donald Trump. I hate to say it out loud, but I think at this point we are in a divided country that can never be mended back into unity. Not when the conversation and the debate and the arguments are on this far apart, different ends of the spectrum. I hope I worded that right? So this whole spiel, this whole long video is to get y'all to understand that, in my opinion, people that are 45 or younger, get ready to fight. That vision of America that you believe every American should have access to, that life, that American dream that you want to be fucking true. I'm sorry, but peaceful protest, it's not going to make it a reality. I'm sorry.